Hello everyone. Welcome to the fifth question and answer session. I am Pratap here. Let me address all your questions asked after our fourth Q&A session. So let me address all your questions directly from our YouTube channel notification bar. Also, I will address starting from the most recent question till the last question before our last Q&A session. The first question is asked by Rajesh. For ATL means all-time low. For all-time low, can we consider demand zones from years back? Will that be a valid zone? See, we must understand at all-time low, there won't be any demand zones. If a price is at all-time low, what does it mean? All the demand zones are violated and then only prices will be reaching to all-time low. There will be only a all-time low supply zone. There won't be any all-time low demand zone. This is the point we have to understand. Hope I made it clear. Let me put your question in another way. Let us assume your higher time frame is a all-time low supply zone, your higher time frame. But in your lower time frame, there could be demand zones might be there. Even in that case, what will happen? Let us assume, in this example, let us assume our all-time low supply zone is a monthly zone. That means the other time frames, some demand zones are created. Whatever the demand zones are created, they are all new demand zones. That is the point you have to understand. Let me explain how new demand zones are created from all-time low. When price reached to the all-time low, all the demand zones are violated in all the time frames. Then only price will be at all-time low. In all the time frames, all the demand zones are violated. Then only prices will be reaching to all-time low. This is the point we should understand. Okay, after reaching all-time low, now price started moving up. While moving up, what happens? New demand zones will be created. How they will be created? First 1 minute demand zone will be created, the lowest time frame demand zone. Let us assume our lowest time frame is 1 minute. First 1 minute demand zone will be created. After that 5 minutes demand zone will be created. After that 15 minutes demand zone will be created. After that 1 hour or 75 minutes demand zone will be created. After that 2 hours or 125 minutes demand zone will be created. And then daily demand zone will be created. And then weekly demand zone will be created. After that, prices will be entering into monthly supply zone. After that, two things will happen. Monthly supply zone will be violated and then again prices will be further going back. One of these conditions will happen. Or maybe monthly demand zone also will be created. These are the different stories. But how new demand zones will be created? This is the procedure. That means all these demand zones created in all these time frames are recently created demand zones. They are not the old demand zones. That means there is no question of old demand zone in these scenarios when we discuss about all-time low scenarios. In all these time frames, whatever the demand zones you refer, they are all newly created demand zones. Maybe in the recent time they are created. Or maybe you may ask another question. Forget about all-time low or all-time high scenario. Your question could be, maybe I have a zone, very old zone, maybe for the last 10 years, 2010 or 2009, some zone is there. Is it still valid? The answer is yes, it is valid. It doesn't matter when the zone is created. When a zone is created, maybe in the year 2009, now prices are entering into that zone first time, let us assume. See, at the time of that zone creation, when institutions did their analysis in the year 2009, maybe some of their order flow is consumed and there could be remaining orders, pending orders. This information will be registered in their softwares. They have special softwares about their orders, what price they placed, how much percentage is executed, how many pending orders are there. Even for the last 20 years, 30 years also, all the records will be there in their database. When prices are entering into the zone created in the year 2009 or 2010, when prices are entering into that, their software system will give an alert to them. Immediately they will come to know, okay, some 10 years back or 15 years back, we created this zone. These many orders are executed at that time. These many orders haven't executed. Such kind of information will be there in the database. What about the pending orders? Will they be executed? That is what your question, right? Generally, I think the misperception for many people is, that means misunderstanding with many people is, if we place order some 10 years back, the pending orders still they exist. This is the question most of the people might be having. See, the point you have to understand, there is a difference between the actual or the way how we speak. That difference we need to understand first. Your pending orders means not the pending orders in the exchange. Stock exchange, once the day is over, all the pending orders will expire automatically. Again, we have to place the new orders on the next day if you want to execute the orders. Exchange point of view, everything is a new order. Then what is the meaning of pending order? Pending orders with our perspective. These many stocks you want to purchase at that particular price level, or at this range of price level, we want to execute these many stocks. Out of these many, say I want to execute 1 lakh stocks. Out of 1 lakh, only 50,000 are executed. Remaining 50,000 are pending. They are not the pending at the exchange. They are pending as per our analysis. What we do, next day again we will place the 50,000 orders in the exchange. Exchange point of view, they are the new orders. But our analysis point of view, it is a pending orders. That is what you need to understand. So in 2009, if 50,000 orders are pending orders, if our software analysis is showing today, are we going to place that 50,000 orders again? Again, it's all depending on the current scenario, market scenario. If the area is a good area, institutions again they place the 50,000. Maybe as per today's analysis, if they feel again they need to place 2 lakh orders instead of 50,000, they may add even more. 2 lakh orders also they will place. It's all depending on how institutions are doing their analysis. But their software system will give an alert. So many years back, these many orders are executed in that area, remaining are pending orders. Now, as per the recent analysis, in that area, again how many orders they need to place, as per the current situation, they will take a decision. If the area is a good area, good price area, they will place even more orders today. Because we have seen recently, some zones from the year 2009 or 2010, they worked very well. The moment prices entered into that area, again it pushed it down. Prices were pushed it down. So that's why you need not worry about those zones. Hope you get answer to my question. Your question. The next question, Arish asked, it's a very big question. Okay, so patiently you have to listen this question. Sir, I have watched your Q&A video because I am interested in automated tool that can filter stocks on daily basis. But in that video, you have explained everything and I am completely agree with you. And hats off to you and your effort. But sir, according to me, this software is more useful to the retail traders, not that much useful for big guys, because big guys are zone created. They don't take trade where the retail take. Big guys are price movers because demand and supply zones can be only be created by big guys, FIIs, DIIs, pros, etc. As per my understanding, this software is a tool that can that can we retailer can be, we retailer can take a trade at a price where these big guys execute their remaining buy orders, demand zone, and if they sell, supply zone. For big guys, it is just a tool which will keep a track at that price they have brought and at what cost they have sold beyond the use of this software for them. So I don't think they will buy at 25 crore because they are creators of zone. Why they will buy such product which track their creation? So therefore, I don't think it will be useful for them. Okay? Sorry if I am explaining in a wrong way. No problem. Whether right or wrong, you can explain. I will provide answer to you. But on the other hand, it is very much useful and needed software for retail traders. It will help us to copy price makers. It will help us to copy price makers. And sir, teaching all the valuable skills at no cost is most great thing. We all should thank you for doing this. By real game start after learning and there is a big technical problem with these strategies, that is finding zone manually is nearly impossible. So an automated tool becomes a necessary, or if anyone does not believe me, then please try for 1 month and find traders and take traders. In today's era, skills are important, but automated tools are more important. If you can't provide software, then can you please share filtered stocks, and you should rethink about the subscription model. If you need an investor, I can help you with this. Thank you. If I am wrong, please enlighten me. See, thank you for putting such a big question. Thanks. I must appreciate your effort. And also, I must appreciate your concern related to the software. Yes, I'll agree with you. This software is very much useful to the retail traders. So that is the reason why I am providing every day the filtered reports free of cost to the retailers. Because I don't want any money from them. See, when I want money, if I invest some money, I want get the money back to me. When I will invest, if I place this software in the websites and if I invest money, again I want to get back that money. See, placing the software is not is the only thing. Managing the software is more important. That means I need to recruit administrators. See, a lot of services I need to provide. I need to pay salaries. See, all of a sudden cost is increasing. When cost is increasing, there will be a huge burden on you also. So that's why at present, what is the best solution? I thought what you need, obviously, the stocks near demand zones and supply zones. Once you know the theory, and if you identify stocks near demand and supply zones, you know how to make use of them. You know how to get benefit by making use of the stocks near demand and supply zones. Most of the time, what you do analysis manually. While analyzing, it is very difficult for you to find the stocks near demand and supply zones. Most of the times, in our favorite stocks, the stocks might be in the middle of demand and supply zones. You need to wait for few days. Sometimes you need to wait for few weeks until prices reaches to that zone. That way you won't get the trades. But what I am doing every day, for all the time frames, I am providing the stocks near demand and supply zones. That way you will get trading opportunities every day. If, say, for example, you are a swing trader, in my report, in my YouTube report, last 10 minutes of the YouTube report, every day you have to observe the last 10 minutes of the reports. Last 10 minutes of the reports every day, I am generating the stocks near demand zone and supply zone for all the time frames. If you are a swing trader, what you do? You take a stock near demand zone. That is the immediate trading opportunity you are getting. Then what you will do? You will do your analysis. You take that stock entry zone, draw. Then you go one time frame higher. You identify the ITF zones. Again, one more time frame you go high. You will identify the supply zones. Then you do your analysis. What analysis? You will identify the price direction, you will identify the trend, you will identify the location. If everything is in your favor, you will plan the trade. Now instead of searching the entire database, now you are taking only the stocks near demand zones and supply zones. Or other way also you can do analysis. You can directly go to the stocks near monthly demand zone. You mark that as a higher time frame zone. Then again further you lower time frame you go, intermediate time frame and lower time frame. You draw the zones. That way you will be able to, you will wait for that particular stock to enter into the zone. You do the analysis like what you did for identifying the trend, identifying the price direction, identifying the location. That means you got two opportunities in terms of finding the stocks near monthly zones or finding the stocks near daily demand zones. Either way you do your analysis. And how you are able to do? With the help of the reports generated by our software. Every day in the software, last 10 minutes, I am generating the stocks near demand and supply zones. Even if I provide the stock, the software online, you do the same thing. But what makes the difference? Earlier you have to pay the money to me because I am setting up and a lot of cost I am incurred. That cost again you have to pay back. But with the help of the YouTube videos, what is the advantage you are getting? You are not paying any money to anybody. For me also there is no cost. The only cost for me is the 1 hour time I am spending for recording the video. That's it. Okay, that 1 hour effort I am assuming, okay, I am providing my free service to you. At least I get your blessings. Some nice comments from you because see how nicely you provided the comment. You appreciated my effort. That always will motivate me. Your likes, your comments, nice comments will always motivate me. That is what I am expecting from you, nothing more. For that you need not spend any money. Maybe you need to spend maybe 1 second or 2 second time for liking the video. Or maybe you need to spend some 1 minute or 2 minutes time to write some nice comment. That will encourage me. That's it. So no cost involved in this process. But the problem is, when I want to set up, a lot of cost will be involved because especially maintaining software systems is the costliest effort. And the second problem is after setting up, we won't get a good number of, suppose if I go for a subscription model, how many of you will subscribe? Now currently 100 members watching the video. When I say, when I am providing the service, hardly 5 members or 6 members will come for paying. Do you think all the 100 members will come? They don't come. Because I have the experience, business experience. Earlier I managed a training institute. I know how much money I spend while managing that institute for software development related training and software programming training. I have managed in the year 2009 and between 2009 and 2016. Sorry, 2008 and 2016. Because I know how much cost, I have a clear idea in my mind. Because I don't want to take that risk because I have already prior experience. That's why I didn't go for it. I'm not excited. To be honest, I'm not excited again to create a similar kind of model. Okay, next question. Let me answer your other next question. You are saying institutions, big guys like FIIs, DIIs, or pros, they won't look for this software. Actually, it is more useful to them. The software is more useful to them. You are saying they are the creators. They are the creators of these zones. Yes, they are the creators of these zones. But some of those big guys, they doesn't know about this zone model. They are doing analysis as per other concepts. But as per the price concept, price action concept, zone is getting created. Some of those big guys not even know a zone is created. Some of the big guys, they are having idea about these zones. They know. When some of these big guys know about the zone, some of the big guys doesn't know about these zones. That is one difference. Even these, let us assume, even all these big guys knows about these zones, let us assume. Then what's happening? There is a fight happening between these big guys. When there is a fight happening between these guys, one big guy is trying to create a demand zone and another big guy is trying to create a supply zone, that means there is a big fight is happening between these big guys. That is what I clearly explained in lesson 2, in our training lesson, in the early stage itself. If you ask me what is my favorite lesson in the entire course, lesson 2 is my favorite course. My favorite lesson. Because all the real secrets, if you clearly observe the lesson, if you would have gone through lesson 2 properly, all the secrets you might have understood very clearly. Actually, it is not the fight between retailers and institutions. It is the fight between institutions and institutions. One institution might be creating the demand zone and another institution is creating the supply zone. That is the way there is a fight between bulls and bears. That's why you might have observed sometimes when a zone is violated, before the zone, let us say one supply zone is violated, just below the supply zone, you might have seen a newly created demand zone. How do institutions know? They have to create a demand zone. If they know there is a supply zone, then only they will take a decision to create a new demand zone and try to violate the zone. Because you want to become a bull. He will be a bull, only if that supply zone will be violated. Otherwise, he won't be a bull. But how he knows there is a supply zone? You need to identify there is a supply zone. With the help of the software system, it is very easy for them. But how do you know the supply zone is near to the current price or far away from the current price? Our software is telling whether it is near or far away. One institution, he wants to be a bull, but he wants to identify where the supply zones is there, price is near to the supply zone. Our software will provide stocks near the supply zone. The institution immediately he will take a decision. Now let me create a demand zone and let me break that supply zone for so and so stock. With the help of our software, he will take a decision in so and so stocks. Now the price is near to the demand zone or near to the supply zone. If it is near to the supply zone, I want to violate that. Now let me create a demand zone. Because our software system is providing, it is easily finding, it is easily telling all the stocks near the supply zones. Actually, it is more important for them. You are saying he won't buy by spending 25 crores. Let me tell you, even they will be willing to pay even 100 crores also for the software. Yes, what I am saying is correct. They don't mind to pay even 100 crores for buying the software. Because when I designed the software, I thought about all the institutions' requirements, not only the retail traders' requirements. I thought about all the institutions' requirements. Based on those requirements, I developed many features. Because in this software, there are so many features, you are not even using, not even 1% of the features available in this software. Let me tell you again, not even 1% of the features you are using in this software. Those many features are there in this software. And please do not think every institution know about the zones, demand zones or supply zones. Or not every pro traders. Because this is the concept developed recently. Recently means somewhere in the year 2007. It is still a new concept to many people. And it is a needed software for the institutions. It is a very much needed software. That's why I told you they don't mind paying even 100 crores also for buying this software. Hope I provided the answer to your questions. Now you will convince why it is required for the institutions. Because in your understanding, you ignored one important point. The important point is there is a fight between institutions to institutions. That point you ignored. You are thinking from a single institution's point of view. An institution's created a zone and he don't bother about it. And he don't bother about our software. That's true, but not true for the other institution's point of view. The other institution who wants to break that zone, they needs the help of our software. You got it clear now? Okay, now let me get into the next comment. Education. Thank you for this. You are most welcome. Thanks for your appreciation. And next comment. Thank you, sir. Pankaj, this is from Pankaj. Thank you, sir. One more question. Does this screener scan only stocks of future segment only? No, this supports uh, all the indices. The software is having the capacity to filter only stocks near Nifty 50 or only IT index related stocks or only uh, pharmaceutical industries or reality industry or financial industry or banking industry or Nifty 500 or small cap 500 or the entire database, all the 2000 stocks listed in uh, NSE database. It can filter anything. Even it can support the other stock exchanges also if you feed the data. Even commodities data also it can scan if you feed the data. At present, I feed it only NSE related NSE equity data, not the futures data or options data. Equity data I feed it. So the software is analyzing that data. But when I am generating reports to you, I have selected the default. I have selected the default index as the futures, that is F&O. It is not futures data. The futures indicate the stocks listed in that F&O. That is what I mean. Futures means that includes options also, F&O. So because that is the default one, in that stocks, we have around 183 or 184 stocks are there, plus there are around 17 indices also there, indices. Altogether around 200 stocks. So it is analyzing the by default. Why I made it default? Because most of the people trade in that F&O segment. So that is the reason why I selected the default. And another reason is you can also use Nifty 500 or the entire database, but the problem is in the video one I explained, in Q&A video one I explained, the time, the time taking, even for 200 stocks, it is taking around 8 minutes time. When the data grows, it may take 9 minutes, 10 minutes also in the coming days. If you add Nifty 500 stocks, see how much time it will take. Entire database, imagine how much time it will take. Because the top-down analysis is a very highly expensive process. Expensive means in terms of time, not money. In software, expensive means it is time. More time taking means more expensive. That is one problem. And another problem is memory also. Because after processing, the data will be placed in the RAM in the form of objects, Java objects. And from the Java objects, we are processing according to our requirements. So after processing, say almost around 12 GB RAM it is occupying out of 16 RAM currently I am using. If I want to place Nifty 500, the entire database, imagine how much RAM I have to use in the system. So by considering all these factors, the topmost important is Nifty 500, Nifty 200, that is F&O stocks. So I have limited my report generation to F&O, but software point of view, it can scan the entire database. So this is the question 2. This is the question raised by Pankaj. The next question, Arush. Previously, Arush also. Again, same question. Yeah. See, please remember, this is not only to the Arush, for everybody. See, some of you are putting the same comment again and again in multiple videos. Maybe you might be thinking I'm ignoring your comments. No, I will go through all your comments. So you need not put your comments in every video. Maybe you are thinking that I may not be reading, at least in one of the video I will read. That might be your understanding. That's not true. Once you put a comment, definitely I will address. I will read all your comments. Don't worry about that. You need not copy your comment in every video. And especially keep your comment in the relevant video. See, in future what happens when somebody is learning a particular topic, the persons might also read the comments. Any question somebody got, similar kind of question other person also might have got. If I provide any answer to that question, probably they will immediately, there itself he will be able to understand. His doubt also, the new person's doubt also will be clarified. If you are keeping irrelevant questions, you know what happens? It might be a disturbance to them. See, I can also do the cleanup activity. I can delete the comments, which I don't want to do. So that is the reason why, because I don't like to delete any comment. Even if you scold me, still I will keep that comment. Don't worry. But it didn't happen till now. But in case if anybody do, I will keep. Let the people read. People also should understand the negativity, right? Maybe I take the comment in a positive way, because negative comments never disturb me. I just laugh and I just leave it, because I know what I am doing. So that is the reason why I am requesting you, keep, if you already put a question, keep it as it is. I will read. When the time comes, I will address that particular question. So don't worry guys, please remember. Repeating questions, it's honestly your waste of your time also. It's not waste of my time, it is waste of your time. But I understand why you are keeping in multiple videos, because you are thinking I am ignoring your comments. Please understand, I won't ignore your comments. When the time comes, I will answer your question. That is the reason why we have this Q&A session. If I feel that comment is very important, I have to answer immediately, probably I will answer that comment immediately. If I feel that comment is useful to everybody, it is required for everybody to understand that particular comment, I will put them in the Q&A session so that everybody will understand from your question. That is not only useful to you, that is also useful to other people also. So the next one. Okay, sir, thank you for reply. Does this software find stocks future segment only? I already answered this question. I think this is also a repeated question. So please understand, just put a question only once, that is enough. You need not put in multiple videos. See, I am seeing all the questions in order from this notification bar. Next question. Arish, how to access your stock finder software website? Okay, Arish, yeah, already got answer to your question, right? So same questions again and again. Vikas Sharma, sir, I am indebted to you. Thank you from bottom of my heart. You have thought complex concept in a very easy way. Okay, thank you very much for your nice reply and appreciation. And your appreciations are really a big motivation to me. I really mean it. So that is the reason why when someone appreciates, definitely I want to thank them. But here, one important point also everybody should observe. Especially this is a question related to the video trend. This is a trend calculation based on higher highs and higher lows, lower highs and lower lows. What I want to tell you, the trend calculation based on higher highs, higher lows, lower highs and lower lows, this is based on Dow Zone theory concept. This trend calculation is, I repeat, based on Dow Zone theory. And it is a very powerful concept and an accurate concept for trend calculation. I can say even this trend calculation by using this approach, higher highs, higher lows, lower highs and lower lows, this trend calculation is much powerful than zone violation concept. We are calculating trend even by using zone violation. But this is even much powerful concept than that concept. Because we are demand and supply zone traders, we use zone violation concept. Okay, that is also a very good concept, no doubt in that. But what I am saying, the trend calculation based on higher high, higher low, lower high, lower lows is a powerful concept. And what I observed, most of the people are happy by listening this video. That is what I observed. But what I am trying to say, that is not good enough. If you are happy by listening this video, that is not good enough. Then what you have to do? There are other extension videos to this video. We have 3 extension videos after this. Extension 1, extension 2, extension 3. Even more important concepts I explained. If you complete those videos, you will get more perfection on trend calculation. You get the complete perfection. You will be an expert only after completing all the extension videos. And after the extension video, again one more video, that is practical concept. On live charts in TradingView, we have identified the trend with the 2 examples, Nifty and Bank Nifty, if I am not wrong. Complete all these videos and then you practice by applying these concepts, practice at least 3 to 4 charts. Then you will be an expert in calculating the trend as per higher high, higher low, lower high, lower lows, as per Dow Zone theory. These higher high, higher lows, lower high and lower lows. These are all. This is the way you are supposed to. How can I say you are not? Because the views of the video generally tells me, gives me some idea. When a video is having less views means probably people ignored that video. Or maybe they might not be knowing the video is there. But I am keeping all the videos in an order in our playlist, Supply Demands and Price Action Course playlist. Maybe some people might be thinking, okay, this video itself is good enough. Clearly everything explained, now we know everything about, not required to learn anymore. Don't think like that. When I release the other extension videos means they are even more important. Minute level points, some important points that make your analysis 100% accurate, I explained in those videos. So this is a very important point you have to observe for the trend point of view. So those who have not completed the trend, all the videos, you must complete. Then only you will be called as an expert. I have also seen some people are simply just fast forward the video and skipping some of the important points. That way also you will miss. Never learn like that. Having zero knowledge is better than the half knowledge. I repeat, having zero knowledge is better than having the half knowledge. Either you should have zero knowledge or you should have 100% perfect knowledge. Half knowledge is always dangerous. Hope you understand. And one more point, before going there, one more important point, even not only this, even the other videos also, people are making mistake. The next questions you will understand, at that time I will explain. You will get clarity. If you are having half knowledge, you will, what kind of doubts you will get, you will understand. Next question, how to access, already answered this question. Dear Mr. Pratap, this is a question from Ashok Singh. Dear Mr. Pratap, is there any other way to know high liquidity zones without software? Without the help of the software algorithm, finding high liquidity zone is highly difficult. The reason is the algorithm is complicated. The second thing is the search criteria for finding the zones in an accurate way should be done by analyzing the vast historic data. The more and more data you have, more and more accuracy will be there. Because I am in my database, I am having the data, especially daily and above time frames, I am having the data since the starting of this NSE stock exchange from the year 1994. Intraday data is only limited data is there, but daily and above we have complete data is there. So when you do such kind of accurate analysis, then only your zones work properly. But if you ask me, is there any way to know the HLQ zone is a HLQ zone without the help of software? There is only one way is available. That too not for the entire high liquidity zones. Only in one scenario. That too not 100% accurate way you can confirm. Maybe at 80% accurate way you can say the zone could be a high liquidity zone. You may say the zone could be a high liquidity zone. Or maybe a high liquidity zone. The zone may be a high liquidity zone. At 80% level you can tell. That too not all the high liquidity zones, very few high liquidity zones. What is the main characteristic of high liquidity zone? That supports multiple tests. Assume I identified a zone that is already having some 3 tests or 4 tests. By seeing those many tests, you may assume that could be a high liquidity zone. But some zone having multiple tests like 3 times or 4 times also may not be high liquidity zones, because that may not meet certain conditions in the software algorithm and it may not qualify them as a high liquidity zone. But rare situation, they are the rare situations at 20% level. So that's why I am saying 80% level, if a zone tested multiple times, it could have been a high liquidity zone. But by the time when it is having a 3 tests or 4 tests or even more, what happens? There are higher probability of violating those zones, or maybe give a success, but that success could be least compared to the other. There is no rule that it will not test 5th time or 6th time. If it is already tested 4th, maybe 5th also may be successful. But when it will be much better if it is a fresh zone, or if it is tested 1 time, or it is tested 2 times. Those levels we have more higher success rate when our prices are entering into that zone. When it is tested 3 times, 4 times, 5th time, generally some doubts will be there in our mind. Now this is the 5th time, is it really going to work or not? That is one disadvantage will be there. And the second is the zones which are fresh, the zones which are tested 1 time or 2 times or few times. You might be having doubts in our mind whether it is HLQ zone or not. You can't confirm. Again, we need the help of the software. Such kind of zones you will be missing from your list when you want to do manually. So that is the reason why I told you finding high liquidity zones manually is almost an impossible task. There is one type of high liquidity zone, that is a counter trend related trade setup. That is also an extension to this Dow theory based extension. Dow theory concept integrated with supply and demand zone, we can identify counter trade setup related concepts. That I will be explaining in our third phase of the training program. At the time you will know about that. But what is the most priority one for us for all the time frames? That is S_DZ, that is support demand zone, or R_SZ, that is resistance supply zone. Just I have given the terminology to make you understand the importance. I don't know support and resistance are right words or not, because the general support and resistance concept in technical analysis is different. You should not think in that way when I gave those modes. Because they are supporting multiple tests, I just gave a name randomly like that. But wrong concept should not get into your mind because of those names. So those zones are having highest priority. And those zones cannot be identified without the help of the software. Because we have identified a fresh zones, support zones, fresh resistance zones. We have identified. You can't identify a fresh zone as a high liquidity zone or not. Definitely you need the help of the software. It is impossible identifying. I am using the word impossible to identify manually. So the only option you have is after several tests only, maybe you can assume 80% level, I am saying, not 100% level, 80% level, maybe that could be a high liquidity zone. That way you can confirm, having multiple tests, several tests, at least you can say more than 2 tests or 3 tests. Excuse me. Hope you got answer to my question. And still, if you are asking me, you want to know manually, means this is the only one way. There is no other way. I cannot help anything further. Or I should share my software algorithm to you, but that is not possible practically. I cannot share the software algorithms. If that is the case, I cannot sell my software to anybody tomorrow. Because if the software secrets go outside, who will buy my software? It is almost more than 20 years of my effort, and especially from the year 2008 to till the date, dedicated effort on the software. Okay, let us move on to the next question. Sumit asked this question. Although HDFC Bank crashed today, it did give a long trade at daily demand zone after 1500 hours. Maybe if you would have put your question in much clear way, it would be helpful to, I think it is not a question, it's your opinion. It looks like your opinion expressed here. So when you are putting your opinions, please give a detailed explanation so that it will be helpful to everybody. And next question, NeoStock. This is from Rajesh. Okay, sir, will do that. Still, I am doing it in the manual mode. Okay, sir, we will do still. I think maybe it is a reply to a previous question you asked. For identifying the curve analysis, I used the tools. Okay, I got it. So this is about the question about usage of the tools for drawing the curve. Let me open, you will get clarity. See what he said. For identifying curve analysis, I use tools like modified fib retracement or GAN box in trading view. By changing the settings, it divides the range in 3 equal parts. Fib retracement tool, I am aware of that. That is what I already replied to him. I am aware of the fib retracement tool, but not GAN box. GAN box I didn't use. So I want all of you do this analysis manually. Actually, what I am expecting, clearly I told at the time of providing this training lesson. In the training lesson, do not use any tools. You have to do with the help of infoline. The reason is infoline is having the ability to calculate the range. From whichever line to whichever line you have drawn between the lines, whatever the range, it will show the info line. Those ranges are actually for drawing this curve. We are drawing the between the two lines, distal line to distal line, that is D to D. D to D means distal lines to distal line range you are drawing. We can also find proximal line to proximal line, P to P. And these ranges are very, very important. That I will be going to explain in the third phase of our training program in defining certain strategies. So if people are comfortable with this info line, it will be easy for you at the time when we learn these strategies. See, it doesn't make much difference whether you use info line and manually dividing into 3 parts and drawing horizontal lines, or the tool, the fib retracement tool, once you configure, and it will draw the lines automatically. you don't require to divide it into 3 parts. Only that effort will be saved. But that saving of that effort is minimal, which is not important. This range should get into your mind so that at the time you understand the strategies in a much better way. So that is the reason why I suggested him. Don't use any tools, just use only the info line and manually divide into 3 parts. For that he replied, okay, I will do. I'm doing it manual mode. Okay, why I explained about this comment, I discussed about this comment is, I want all you people use only info line, especially when you are drawing the curve. Because you are observing the range and then the range you are dividing into 3 parts. And whatever the range you are observing, that observation is important for me by the time when we reach into third phase of the training program. The next question. How do you get NeoStock scanner? Already I discussed. You can't get this scanner. So Q&A lesson, please go through Q&A one session, you get complete clarity. Next one, education, what is it? Sale. Yeah, sale that day has given excellent profit. Good. Next comment from Teza. Hi sir, in Steel Authority of India. Let me expand the comment completely. In Steel Authority, that means sale. In sale, the intermediate time frame, that is in ITF, we usually put a horizontal line at the current market price and look left for demand zone. Generally what we do, we draw a line and we look thereafter left side we will see the most recent zone, the demand zones or supply zones. Isn't the demand zone already tested? We consider violation in LT. Actually, two questions I would like to address. The first question, what you asked, it's not a question you suggested, but I'm treating this as a question. Here, what you are thinking, in the ITF time frame, current market price, you need to draw the horizontal line and you have to look for the zones. See, it need not be ITF time frame. Any time frame, current market time frame, CMP, current market price is the same. Whether you go to daily time frame or weekly time frame, monthly time frame, any time frame, current market is same. There is no rule that in the ITF you have to draw the horizontal line. Even if you go to LTF also, if you draw the horizontal line and the current market price, that remains same in all the time frames. Anyway, that is the way how you generally, some people easily, how you draw the zones, how to draw the zones from the current price, go left, find the most recent demand zone and supply zone. This is what trainers will tell you. Because they have a fear that somewhere in the middle of the chart you will draw the zone. They don't want that. They always tell, their intention is to tell you, identify the most recent demand zone and supply zone. That is what they are supposed to tell you. That is what they are supposed to train you in your mind. Not that drawing a horizontal line somewhere and you look there. They will again leads you some wrong understanding. Always remember, you have to draw the most recent demand zone and supply zone. How do you identify most recent demand zone and supply zone in any time frame? From the current price, if you go left side, whichever the zone you find first, that is the most recent one. Or whichever the supply zone you find, that is the most recent supply zone. Similarly, demand zone. That's it. Drawing a line, going to ITF time frame, LTF time frame, these are all extra decorations they have invented to extend your theory. But see the wrong, the side effect from that concept. Maybe somebody might have told you, from the ITF you have to draw the horizontal line. See how wrongly it is conveying us? Whether it is ITF or LTF or it is HTF, the current price should be the same. That point is not getting into your mind. Please remember, any time frame, current price same. Once market is closed, go to any time frame, it is the same price. The software you are using, if it doesn't update prices properly, you may find different prices. That is a different story. But otherwise, once market is closed, any time frame that is the same price, closing price. Okay, now let us look into the next question. What is our next question? I already replied, but I'm providing the answer just for the benefit of the other people who get the similar kind of doubt. The demand zone is already tested. We considered various LTF only. Could you please clarify? Because the 75-minute zone in sale is a tested zone. Why it is a tested zone? Because it is a high liquidity zone. What is high liquidity zone? Can't we take a trade on the same zone if it is already tested? These points already, those people who are learning the demand and supply zones from our training lessons, they are aware of that concept. The reason is in lesson 7, I clearly explained. In lesson 7, I clearly explained. What I explained? A zone is not a fresh zone. If the zone is not a fresh zone, better don't take a trade in that zone. That is the point I told. Apart from that, what I told, there are some special zones. They are named as high liquidity zones that we will be learning later in the advanced concepts. But those zones supports multi-testing again and again and again in the same zone. So that is the reason why you should not think if a zone is not a fresh zone, it cannot be traded. You should not train your mind like that. That is what I told in that lesson 7. Because how most of the people are trained their mind, if a zone is not a fresh zone, we cannot be tested. And that is giving us a wrong analysis. That is making us to miss one important, very, very important concept. And even if I am trying to teach that very, very important concept, because their minds are trained, if it is not a fresh zone, we cannot trade. They are not willing to learn that particular most important concept. That way they are missing most important stocks that gives better profits. Because these kind of problems are there. Excuse me. Because these kind of problems are there. That's why in the lesson 7 itself I clearly told, especially those who are learning first time, they should not train their mind like that wrong way. I clearly told there are special zones you will be learning later that supports multi-testing, and they are very important zones. That is what I explained in lesson 7. See, the problem is the new people who are joining in our channel already learn demand and supply zones outside, and they are joining. Always they come with the mindset, because these zones, high liquidity zones, are not, because they are not aware of the concept high liquidity zones. They are treating high liquidity zones also like normal zones. And they are thinking it is an already tested zone. No, how can we trade in this zone? This is wrong. It is not, their mind is not accepting to digest this particular point. Generally, it happens. That is how the human psychology, you have to understand. And when you will digest, you will see the high liquidity zones. Every day we are getting profits. After 1 month, you will maybe slowly started realizing, maybe, see why these zones are again and again testing, and same zone it is giving profits. And that too, they are giving excellent profits during intraday. That means instead of 1 week profit, whatever we are getting, we are supposed to get, one day itself we are getting that profit. How it is possible? The realization is coming after losing lot of important time. Again, second month, again we are releasing our report, high liquidity zones report, because every month I am releasing high liquidity. By seeing the stocks, once again see, are we missing something? Then slowly they will try to adapt this strategy and started believing there are some zones that supports multiple time frames. Excuse me. Let me drink some water. Give me some time. Okay, I'm sorry. Then they are started believing. This is the way people, especially today, whoever is trading high liquidity zones, they didn't believe this concept in the month September. In the month after I released the September results, October onwards, probably they are having some concern. Still, they have some fears. And November onwards, with confidence, they are taking. See, 2 months' time it is taking to believe this concept, especially for the people who already completed the course, who are learning the course at NeoStock first time. Currently, they are learning the course and they are already having a idea about some zones test multiple times because lesson 7 already they learned that point. So that is the reason why I am suggesting, my suggestion to everybody is go through all the videos starting from lesson 1.1. Anyway, they are the free lessons. The biggest problem is when we say free training, most of the people are having a very less concern about that. Okay, it is a free. Free means it is a cheap. Maybe quality is not the good. That kind of general attitude will be there for everyone, maybe including me also. If somebody says, probably I also might think like that. There is nothing wrong in that. That is general mindset. But once people are started listening, then they are realizing. That is what we have seen previously also. Some people commented in the early day of our training lessons. We paid 1.5 lakh fee in so and so place. Now I am realizing what I learned there is nothing. All the important points we are learning. Because maybe for revision point of view, they started and then they realized by the time they reach lesson 2 itself, they realized how important this training is. Lesson 2 is a very, very powerful concept. Lesson 2. That is what I told earlier also. Please go through all the lessons starting from lesson 1.1 once again. Especially all the people who land somewhere outside and now they are listening the videos here. Please go through all the lessons, lesson 1.1. Do not skip even a single point because every lesson you have some important points which you haven't learned earlier. And those important points again will help you in later lessons. All the points I put it in a systematic way. To my best. All the lessons, the order I made in a systematic way. I don't know what order people are teaching outside. I really don't care about that. When a person wants to learn a concept in a perfect way, the order they are supposed to learn, that is what I designed in this course. I'm not even bothered what people are talking outside. To be honest, I don't have much idea also at different places how people are teaching. But I have something in my mind because I designed the software, because I have analyzed this concept at the maximum extent, what at my best level. So that is the reason why, according to my understanding, I put this course in a proper structure. Those who learned, probably some points in this what you are learning here also, you will same thing will be matching. No difference in that. But some important points will be there. Every video, starting from 1.1, every video, at least 1 or 2 points, important points, which you haven't learned earlier might be there. And those points will later again will help you, like a chain, linked chain. If you miss these points, definitely you will be having some disadvantage in the latter, whatever you are going to learn. That's why don't skip, don't fast forward. Even I am expecting you people repeat the course second time, if possible, even third time also. Because in the human psychology, nobody is exceptional, including me, nobody is exceptional. First time when we learn, everything it looks like we understand. When somebody explains properly, we feel like everything we understood and everything we got the clarity. But you know what happened after some time? Some important points we forget after some time. Maybe after some time means immediately the next day itself, or immediately after completing 2 or 3 lessons. It happens to any human. because our memory won't be having capability to store each and every minute level points in our mind. We have to train our mind. That's why what we do generally, even now, when I learn any topic from somebody else, this is the approach I follow. I repeat second time. Even I understood, even if I feel understood everything I know, I repeat second time. Second time when I am repeating, some more important clarity will be flashed in my mind. New thinking will be developed in my mind. If required, I will repeat even third time, even I don't hesitate to listen, fourth or even fifth time also. It happened in the past. When I learned something new from somebody else, I repeated this exercise. I never compromised at the quality of the content. Never compromised. Because I never compromised, see the kind of the software I developed, because of that reason, never compromised. This is my attitude. But this kind of attitude brought a best results. So that's why, because this is a successful approach, I'm also expecting you people. Because anyway, everything is free, everything is there in the online. Only thing you need to do, you need to spend your time. That is the only thing you have to invest. If at all anything you need to invest the time. But the problem is many people, they don't invest proper time. That way we get only half knowledge, not the complete knowledge. Follow my approach, you will get the complete knowledge. The biggest advantage you are having here is all these videos are free videos and they are available online for forever. The more and more you delay and realize after 1 year or 2 years, my knowledge is half knowledge, let's see, you are wasting 2 years of your time. That's why learning process should be proper. I have observed some people are skipping the videos and listening the videos. When you skip, you know what happens? The most important point you will miss. That will make you that will make you imperfect always. That will be a big disadvantage for you next time when you are learning some other chapter. That's why previously also I told you the trend related calculations, all the videos has to complete. Not only trend, the entire supply demand zone starting from lesson 1.1, you have to complete. I have observed, best example, let me tell you, lesson 1.2. Half of the people skipped that. Why they skipped? Because lesson 1.2 is about candles. Everybody know about candles. But do you know, the most important point you missed in the lesson 1.2. The entire lesson 1.2, the most important is some important points I explained during the calculations of candle body and candle range. That is a very important discussion. There are some disadvantages are there. Those disadvantages I clearly explained to bring the perfection. Maybe the rest of the topic might be you might be knowing. That's why I'm telling every video, even though you know in everything, majority of the content in that video, but there are some important points which are very much important for you. That's why patiently you have to listen. Every video, even if you know, you have to listen. You should not skip. When you skip that important point, I'm expecting you to learn. You might miss that point. See, at most, what is the best thing you get if you listen? It will be, even though you know everything, let us assume you know everything in that video, it is going to be a revision for you. There is no loss for you, right? It is just a revision in case. But what I am guaranteeing, every video, one or two minimum points, that is minimum level, 1 or 2 new points you will be learning. That's why you should not skip the videos. And especially those who land outside and now directly attending, please do not do this mistake. Go through all the videos once again. You will understand what you missed all these days. Or you will understand what some wrong concepts you learned all these days. And you will also understand some important concepts that will make you a profitable trader in the coming days. Got it? So this is one reason why the reason why he asked this question is because he is not aware of there are zones, powerful zone supports multi-testing. And next question, I think this is a spam message. I don't have habit of deleting any messages. So that's why, but ignore this. Next question is from Rajesh. NeoStock. Thanks for response. I'm looking for some high level conditions you must have used even in your software to differentiate these NRC, MRC and ERC. Narrow range candle, medium range candle and ERC candles. See, for that, the first question is, first you need to understand this. Do you suggest any price and percentages to be used to define narrow range, medium range? I think I previously in lesson, did I address this question in lesson in Q&A? Q&A, I'm not sure. But anyway, see, the biggest problem is you cannot identify the candles based on the percentages. That is a generalizing. The generalizing is not possible. The reason is different candles, different charts are having different price ranges. Within the same chart also, at different times within the same chart, you have different ranges. So if you use percentages, always it is an inaccurate analysis. That never works. So that is the reason why identifying the candles as a NRC or ERC or even MRC, medium range candle, is not possible. Okay, then how? Then that is what I explained in this reply. That's why again he asked. What is the question he asked? I'm looking for some high level conditions you must have used in our software to differentiate these NRC, MRC, ERC. See, the conditions I used in my software is completely out of the context of supply demand zone price action course concepts. It is a totally a different concept because I've been developing this software from the year 2008. Not only supply and demand zone, so many other things related to technical analysis I developed. So some of the technical analysis concepts I developed, I used earlier. I have reused those concepts for identifying these NRC candles or ERC candles. Basically, leg candles, base candles, or leg out candles. Let me tell in that way. And they are nowhere related to supply and demand zone price action. And explaining those concepts is like I'm explaining about my software. See, here I'm providing free training only for supply demand zone price action, but not related to my software development. That is what you need to understand. In case, if I explain those conditions, everything related to the software algorithms related, it's like I'm revealing my software algorithm secrets to you. If once I reveal my secrets, it will be very hard for me to approach some customers who can buy this software. They won't buy because everyone they expect the privacy of the software development related things. Because what happens again tomorrow their competitors also, if they develop, it will be a disadvantage for them. So this is one of the reasons why the software related algorithms I am not discussing as part of this training program. This training program is fully related to supply demand zone price action. You have to understand. Please understand. The software, and moreover, these software algorithms are not simple. They are highly complex algorithms. Highly complex. I'm using the word, they are highly complex. They are not. Clearly in video 1, which one, the Q&A video 1, I shown you the number also. The number of lines of code I have written. I didn't remember the number, but it is around close to 1.5 lakh lines of code. A little less or a little more. So that the exact number I have given in that video. When I have written more than 1 lakh lines of code, you can understand the complexity. And the number of lines of the code, this is also one complicated factor in differentiating all these candles in a perfect way. In accurate way, you can identify if you are using percentages randomly something, but that doesn't work. Probably you might have noticed by this time. So that's why it's a very highly complicated algorithm, and those algorithms are reused algorithms from my earlier work, which is not at all related to supply demand zone price action. Hope you got answer to this question. So please focus on this training. And if you are developing the software, probably I am not the right person to provide you the software related techniques. And next question, Gurpreet. Full information video. Okay, thank you. Hope you are enjoying these videos. And the next question, he has written so many comments previously also. Let me say, first of all, let me say my apologies to you. Not only you, for all those members who are expecting Hindi videos from me. It is my sincere apologies. My apologies because of not knowing Hindi language. Really, I'm feeling very bad for that because I know if I know Hindi, it would have been a more advantage for me. Because of this English related videos, see my subscribers count, it is only 2.7k. That means around 2,700 members, subscribers I am having. If it is a Hindi language, definitely I would have got around 30,000 or 50,000 subscribers by this time. I know my disadvantage. But what to do? It's very unfortunate not knowing because my mother tongue is Telugu and I neglected the other languages during my school days because during my school days I just focused only on mathematics and physics. That was the subjects I shown more interest. Remaining all the languages, everything I just ignored because childhood days I doesn't know the importance. And by the time I lost the time. By the time I realized, I lost the time. And today it is very, very difficult. Even my own mother tongue, Telugu also I neglected during my school days, especially the grammar related, the poems related, the literature related. Okay, because it is a mother tongue, I am able to speak. But the other important things related to the concepts they teach in the school, I ignored even them. The way how I ignored Hindi, the way how I ignored English, even English I ignored. Because my father realized what I am doing, my mistakes. So what he decided when I am joining in my graduation, that is my engineering, he decided, because at the time I am speaking only Telugu, I don't know Hindi, I don't know English. So what he decided is, okay, he decided to join in a college where no Telugu speaking people at all available in that college. So that way he found a college in Tamil Nadu at Coimbatore. That is the other extreme end to my state, my current state, Andhra Pradesh. The other extreme end to the Andhra Pradesh is Coimbatore. That is a border to Kerala area, Kerala state. And Chennai, that is earlier we call it as Madras, Chennai, is a border to my location. There more Telugu people will be there. Even if my father joined me in that college, even though it is Tamil Nadu, still I will be speaking with all Telugu people, only in Telugu. So that's why he thought, no Telugu person should be there. Because it is on the other side, extreme side, obviously it is a very rare people get into that area. from my state. So when I joined in the college, no Telugu person, I am the only one person. There are only either Tamil people or Malayali people. And I doesn't know English. I doesn't know Hindi. And even I doesn't know Tamil. And whatever the English I know is just a butler English. Very, very minimum level only. I can speak or I can understand. Even if I speak, that conveys a wrong message to the other people. Sometimes some people will think I'm scolding them. That was my situation when I joined in my first year engineering. But my father's intention is different. He knows if I, without knowing anything, I should survive and I should learn something. So what I have to do, how to survive without the help of anybody who can understand my language. So with that mistakes, I started speaking in English. And after 2 years, at least at some extent, I was in a position to manage. So by the time I complete my fourth year in the engineering, at least not a good level, but manageable level, I am able to speak my English. So this is how my journey started for regarding speaking English. And 4 years I stayed at Tamil Nadu. At least some extent I learned even Tamil, but not speaking in a perfect way. But I can manage myself. I understand what they are speaking. And while speaking, maybe with some grammatical mistakes, still I can manage myself. That way, I was able to manage myself. I mean, I learned another language. But the main language I focused is in English because that is the because my studies everything should be in English. So there is no other choice to escape because all the subjects are in English. No other choice. We have to learn. Because I learned at least today I'm in a position to speak with you in English. Even if I doesn't know English today, I would not be in a position to share my knowledge with you people. But I understand, I realized the disadvantage of not knowing a Hindi language. But what to do? So it is the disadvantage I am having because you are expecting, maybe you liked my training and expecting me to explain in Hindi language, but I am disappointing you. That's why I said you have to, that's why I told my apologies to you. Because you see, the way you know how I am understanding your sometimes messages, I'll copy and I'll paste in the Google and I try to understand what the question you are asking in case if you write in Hindi. But sometimes Google is also not properly translating the messages. Whatever the Hindi word you typed, the same word it is showing in Google also sometimes. So sometimes it is very difficult to understand what is the message you explain. That is the biggest disadvantage. Because I know everybody should learn Hindi. But the problem with our country is at different places we have different languages. But at the same time, the advantage for us is unity in diversity. Even though we belongs to different places, even though we speak different languages, but still we are all united. We are all proud because we are Indians. We are all always a proud Indians. That is the advantage we have. But the disadvantage, communication with everyone, because we have different languages. And when we want to convey, because always I know my mother tongue, the best way to convey message with everybody is when we speak in our mother tongue. When we speak in our mother tongue, fluency will be there. But such kind of fluency will be missed when we speak in other languages, even in English also. Even though I'm speaking in English, still that will be missed. Sometimes what I want to convey exactly, sometimes even I struggle myself. I might be searching for the words. What is the best word? But that won't happen when we speak in our mother tongue. Hope you understand my problem. That's why I'm conveying my apologies to you. Not only to you, all the members who are expecting my videos in Hindi language, because I am not able to fulfill your requirements. But on the other side, as a fellow Indian, hope you are able to understand my problem. And also you will be able to help the other people. See, actually I provide a solution for this problem. Previously also once I suggested, but not for the Hindi point of view. Previously I remember the best way to learn supply and demand zones, I have given one suggestion. The suggestion is people should form as a group, 4 members or 5 members, and do the group study. Take a lesson 1, study, everybody attend lesson 1, then form as a group, discuss about lesson 1. You get perfection. You get perfection in the understanding. Next, go to lesson 2, study all the lessons, then form as a group and discuss about lesson 2. If you follow this approach, you get the best knowledge. This technique is not only for supply and demand zone, any topic, this is the best technique. Group discussion always gives the best results. This is from my experience, I am telling you. Always gives the best results. This is the advice I have given earlier in one of the videos. I didn't remember in which video I have given this advice. Now the same approach you follow, but make sure in your group at least one English speaking person is there. He can attend the video. Then after that in the group discussion, let him translate everything to you. Then you debate on that particular discussion. Then continue. In Hindi, you need not be Hindi if you belongs to some other state, maybe in Tamil Nadu, in Tamil or in Malayalam or in Kannada or in Oriya or in Marathi or Gujarati or Bengali, and whichever the language you belong, you discuss in your mother tongue that particular topic with the other people. And that way you get perfection. But the only thing you have to make sure, in case if you want to learn from my videos, see, you have so many other options to learn. In case if you want to learn from my videos, make sure at least one English speaking person will be there in your group. Maybe he will be your translator. After that, you do the group discussion, do the debate, get perfection on that. Once your training program is completed, what is that you need? Every day you need the reports generated by the software. The last 10 minutes or 12 minutes of the video, everyday video, at the last 10 minutes, you will be having the software generated reports. So you don't require any English or any language to refer that reports. Because you already completed the course, you got the knowledge. The only thing you have to do is, you just need to analyze those reports as per the knowledge you gain from these videos. That's it. See, my main intention is, you should be in a position to analyze your own charts. You should be in a position to identify exact entry, exact stop loss, exact target. That is the goal of this training program. My only help for you is after that, every day showing you the software generated reports for different time frames. That's it. That way you will become a successful trader. You will become a profitable trader. The everyday reports will help you identify your right zones. Once you know the subject, it is just a matter of some time to analyze the stocks. That's it. Because I am providing stocks near demand and supply zones, immediately you will get the trades on the next day or the following day if it is a higher time frame zones, or following week if it is even a swing related zones. You find a stock near your daily demand zone or a weekly demand zone. Maybe after a few days or after a week, your price will be entering into the zone. You will get the trade. Hope you follow this rule. And also, I don't know, the name is M tag. So M tag, my suggestion, please follow my suggestion. Please make sure in your friends group at least one English speaking person will be there, and he will translate the content and do the group discussion. This is the advice I gave a long back, but not a Hindi point of view, but in general, learning supply demand zone, I have given this advice. The only change I am making in that advice is you make sure one English speaking person will be there in your group. Then rest of the discussion you can continue in Hindi, or if you are belongs to other, the listeners belongs to some other language related speaking states. So in your mother tongue, whichever the mother tongue, there you discuss the videos. Hope I provided at least some better answer for your questions, because I seen so many messages you have given. That shows your interest. I'm happy for that, because that shows your interest. Because you are requesting all these messages means you are desperately expecting. That means you might have realized my video training might be helpful to you. But at least because I have this disadvantage, so the best alternative solution is whatever I suggested. Make sure your group is having one English speaking person. And the next question, informative videos. Sir, which all stocks list you have kept for daily scanning? I already answered this question earlier. NeoStock supports uh, any stocks in NSE database at present. But for your daily reports, currently I put the default value as the F&O segment area. The next question. Hi sir, thank you for great content. You said that we can filter the stocks for trading by using decision making table. Could you please suggest how do we can scan the stocks by using this approach? I think I already replied. We should manually scan. See, forget about the time being, forget about the software. This decision making and software, there is no relation. This is a purely supply demand zone concept. What is the advantage of decision making table? Whichever the stock you are analyzing, whether the stock should be, whether it pass or it fail, you want to check for the trading purpose. If your decision making table says okay, decision tables okay means what? The conditions specified in this decision making table satisfies. If the conditions are satisfied, it is a pass. Now the trade is getting eligibility. But do you want to confirm or not? The other some more concepts also you will validate, that you will be learning in the next chapters. Those who already completed, probably they are aware of these odd enhancers. Based on that, they can take a decision. But this is the most important thing. If odd enhancers is satisfied, but decision making does not satisfy, you should not accept that stock. Here, the more importance is to the decision making table, not the odd enhancers. Sometimes some stocks I don't even care about odd enhancers. But anyway, this is the most important thing. Okay. What is the advantage of the scanner? Scanner means it will analyze all the stocks, all these conditions, and it will show you. That is the only advantage. But you have to do the analysis manually. Please remember. And NeoStock software, already all these conditions are there. Previously also, I don't know, before explaining this decision making table 2 weeks back or 3 weeks back, I was a few days I generated, maybe few weeks, not few days I generated stocks, bullish trade setup and bearish trade setup stocks. In bullish trade setup, around 4 or 5 conditions we used, bearish trade setup also. That way we generated multiple reports. Now what I am trying to do, all those things I just want to integrate together in single step. Instead of searching, just if you select bullish trade setup, it should display for all the conditions. So I will update my software with that, because all these are all already completed tasks in the software. Just need to write a small program to integrate all the conditions into one step, single step. But time being, please remember, you have to do your analysis manually. Once you complete the course, I will also show you the reports related to bullish trade setup and bearish trade setup also I will generate, because I already promised to some people. Some people are looking for DIT trades and WIT trades and MIT trades, that is swing trades. So I already promised after completing the course, I will also analyze some of those charts also. Informative video how to get the scanner. So you need to refer the training video. I mean Q&A video 1. I provided answers to all these questions. Next question, Saina. Website kaise access करनी है. Maybe I think I'm understanding. Please correct me if I'm wrong. If you are accessing, are you asking the access to the website? So access to the website is not possible because all the problems I explained in Q&A 1 video. Please go through question and answer 1 video. You can identify that video in this YouTube. Just scroll down. I'll show you at the end of all the comments how to identify Q&A session. MTech game. So okay, all these are all our Hindi language related questions. Next question. Hello Pratapji, please help me to understand how to access system. The same question. You want the software. Please go through Q&A 1 video. I have explained why the issues, everything I explained. You must listen that video, please. See this guy, so many questions he asked, but at the time I was unable to understand. But I appreciate his interest. Okay, which moving? Okay, this question I already answered in the last Q&A session. So I think this was the last question we asked in our previous training video. So all these questions we addressed. Hope you got answers to all our questions. Maybe it might have taken a lot of time for me also to address all the questions. Still, if you are having any questions, please put them in the comment section of the right video. Please do not put your questions in the wrong videos. Whichever the video is the right video, you got the question, please keep them in that video. Do not spam the questions to all the videos. No use with that. It's a waste of your time and even waste of my time also. But please understand, I am always answering all your questions. But it's all depending on how important. If it is very important, I will put. If it is a big question, I will make a separate video like Q&A video. So please follow this procedure. This is only my request. And any questions I will be addressing in the next Q&A video. Thank you. Have a good day.